Hey guys, what's going on? And welcome to LNB TV, our first episode, our first show live from New Jersey. And I'm excited for you guys to tune in. I'm excited for what we're gonna do with LNB TV over the long run and for the next hour. So guys, we have a couple of cameras moving around, so I wanna be able to know who's tuning in, where you're from, are you excited, while we allow more people to come on our live stream who have just seen it on their newsfeed. So I wanna know who's here, where are you from, comment in the comments below where you're viewing from, and also if you're super excited and what it is that you're most excited for LNB TV. So if you're ready to go, I want to see some ones. I would like to see you guys comment some ones below as well as where you're from so we can see who's actually joining us today. I'm super excited to see what's going down. We have a lot of awesome things for you in this segment. We're going to talk about trending news, topics that you care about, as well as go deep and ask some critical questions and give you guys the ability to tune in. So when you guys are tuning in, there's going to be some live call-in opportunities where we ask you guys directly to give your insights, your opinions, or your feedback so we can have awesome, engaged conversation and also be able to hear what you guys think about the topics that we're tuning in on. So who do we got here? Avi, Brandon, Lex, what's going on, guys? I'm super excited to see you. Keegan, what's going on, guys? Keep sending them. I appreciate it. And then we're going to get ready to go here. So, guys, as you can see, we have a couple topics to talk about today, and we're going to go through them in order. The first one is, what is LNB TV? Why are we here? Why is this important? What is the message that we want to share? What was the genesis of this whole idea and transitioning into really starting to put our attention towards developing a news platform to spread more love, more hope, and more happiness while we talk about trending topics of today in a critical way where we can actually shift conversation on the daily, guys. That's something that I believe is so important in the world now with so much noise. You guys are getting blasted with information left and right, and really, what is the news and media's responsibility to give you content that can affect your life in a positive way, to have conversations that engage you in a critical way, not positive or negative, but conversation that leads you to formulate an opinion, to articulate it, to think about it, and then to share that with others. So we're gonna go into what is LNB TV. Next, I wanna go into the Donald Trump presidency. Guys, obviously this has been a lot of contention and controversy, but for us at LNB TV, at Leave Normal Behind, we want to discuss how can we become the best version of ourselves and create things that matter. What is the things that Donald Trump's doing that can move us forward? What type of foundation are they setting? And what do you guys think about his influence on the country, for America, on where it will go with the economy, health, and business, specifically entrepreneurship, and giving you guys the ability for more opportunities in your life? Then we also want to talk about Snapchat, just IPO'd, a multiple billion-dollar valuation. I want to go into, what do you guys think about that? What do you guys think that Snapchat just went public on the stock market? And then Facebook Messenger adds stories. So we want to talk. I want to hear what you guys think. For people in startups, for people in tech, for people who own a business, or for those who just trade stocks, what do you think about the volatility of a Snapchat stock over time relative to Facebook? We see what Facebook's doing with Instagram stories and now Messenger stories, and it seems like these two giants are really going head to head here. Then I also want to go and dive deeply into what is our responsibility for international aid, helping people around the world who are in severe crises, versus domestic aid, and what is our responsibility to help people within our own borders become the best version of themselves and create things that matter, right? What is our responsibility to help domestic versus abroad? Is there one? I'm not too sure. That's something I want you guys to tune in on. We want to ask these questions that really allow you guys to think, call in, and share, because there isn't a specific answer that's right or wrong, and there's a wide variety of opinions that we can have on this. And then lastly, we really want to go for an extended call-in period to hear what you guys want to do for the show as we grow. For any other entrepreneurs who are tuning in, that you guys know that this is a rapid iteration process, right? And it will always get better. The design will get better. The music will get better. We'll have different segments where we feature entrepreneurs, startups, podcasts, and the like. So I'm ready to get going, guys. If you're tuned in, you're pumped up, you're excited, I want to see some twos. I would love to see some twos commented on the Facebook Live below before we really hop into what is LNB TV, what can you guys expect, what type of shows can you expect, how frequently, and the message to get across as we really develop this platform to be a hub of content that you come to really view and consume knowledge, data, and content that matters that you can use in your daily to shift conversation in a positive way, guys. That's why we are doing this. We want to change the conversations that you have during lunch. We want to change the conversations that you have with your family at dinner. We want to change the conversations that you're having with your friends to just be a bit more insightful, to just be a bit more impactful, and to be a bit more aligned with your inner genius, your art, your passion, your purpose, and the things that you want to do here. So guys, I'm really excited. Brandon, thank you. Lex, thank you. So what is LNB TV? The genesis of LNB TV is towards the tail end now of a 3-year long journey so far for LNB as we really grow and expand in 2017. Leave Normal Behind as a brand whose purpose is to bring together passionate individuals to become the best version of themselves and create things that matter. And why is that? Well, we believe that if we can uncover things within people that are already there, facilitate their inner genius, help them become more of what they already are, well then that is the crux of how you can build a purpose-driven community that can make an impact and grow. And if you can bring those individuals from all over the world together to meet face to face, to have discussions about topics that can influence the world, to also share, connect, and network to create amazing things, then only good things can come from that concoction. And really being driven from an LNB TV where those purpose-driven people can tune in, consume content, network, call in, share their insights, and then move over into events. You know, guys, for just some background, those who are just tuning into LNB TV for the first time or just hearing about the Leave Normal Behind brand for the first time, we've thrown some events recently. We had an influencer party in Miami during Art Basel. Art Basel is a super famous art festival in Miami for about a week in the Wynwood district in Miami, which is super artistic. Just such unbelievable artists and talent go there to share their skills, and it's definitely a place that you got to check out. We threw a little influencer party there for some movers and shakers who are becoming the best version of themselves and creating things that matter. And then we threw a 6,000 person concert for New Year's in Utah Valley at the UCCU Convention Center. So it was super sick because now in 2017 as we grow, we'll have the opportunity to throw summits, galas, fashion shows, immersive art, speakeasies, networking events, meetup, tech events, any type of event where purpose-driven people can meet face-to-face. That's what we want to facilitate within LNB TV and within this LNB community. And guys, that comes from your help, right? That's not something that we can do ourselves. That's something that's a give and take relationship as we grow this community from the epicenter, from its genesis on episode 1 of LNB TV. Each week, we're gonna be talking about topics that matter with the end goal that our audience can then meet each other at these events, in our membership, in our back office, and start to consume better knowledge, meet better people, and ultimately start to live a life that's more happy, satisfied, and fulfilled. We saw a huge need in today's day and age with so much noise in the media that it is our responsibility and obligation, we feel like, to share news and content that matters despite the news that's been being shared that really deters and distracts you from things that are super important. If you guys look on any TV news station now, or you guys are looking on other talk shows, There is some great content. However, there's not enough content that you can take tangibly in your life, use on the daily, use that value to give value to others, and then continue that process. Something that we found such a huge opportunity in the genesis of LNB TV was looking, what are the type of talk shows now that are trending in the United States and that are making an impact and are influential, right? And what are some names that pop up? You have Ellen, Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, Dr. Oz, Dr. Phil, Rob Dyrdek, Stephen Colbert, Conan O'Brien, Jon Stewart from The Daily Show. You have some amazing people who are really giving awesome content, yet there is a void, and it's that void that we at LNB TV look to fill, and it's that there is no talk show host that is really coming from a trending news topic or standpoint under 30 years old. There's not an identified millennial lens that is articulate, researched, objective, and non-polarizing, where people from Gen Z, millennials, Gen X, baby boomers can aggregate together at an epicenter to share, converse, and make a difference. And that is a void that we wish to fill at LNB TV, and that is what you guys will see us grow each week as we have segments like this, where we have hour-long shows, where people are calling in, we're talking about different news, and then we'll be able to bring on celebrities, influencers, politicians, and athletes to ask them in 1-hour specials with a different environment at a different set, where we can sit down next to them and say, how are you becoming the best version of yourself? What are you creating that matters? And what does leaving normal behind mean to you? As well as giving them a platform to talk about trending topics and not give you that typical podcast feel like, how'd you get super successful or something? I feel like that type of content is really played out. I don't think the news and media are doing a good job really diving deep to the authentic crux of stories where people can actually trust. And I do believe that there is a strong demand for people to connect via social media, where they can go to a location and trust that the content that they're receiving is content that can influence their life. So I appreciate this, guys. So I'm back over here, and I want to hear who's in here now, guys, now that we're a little bit into the show. What are you guys thinking? Lex, I love your comments. Yes, yes, yes. Brendan, nice to see you. Aiden from Australia, nice to see you, bro. Farouk, what's going on, homie? Nice to see you, dog. Guys, who's here? Who's tuning in? And what are you guys thinking about the show so far? Are you guys excited about LNB TV? What type of topics do you think are important for us to share? And what do you think is most important as we're sharing this content that could really make a difference, whether it's charity, innovation, social impact, politics, government, technology, virtual reality? There's a whole bunch of things, guys, that if you do the research, we want to share it if it can spread more love, more happiness, and more overall good. So thank you guys for tuning in. Harold, nice to see you, brother. Salute to you back. I'm happy that you guys are tuning in for our first episode of LNB TV. And now we're going to really move into our next segment, which is the Donald Trump presidency, and really asking you guys, what are your opinions? And we're going to ask you to call in or write down below. What is it that you guys think? And specifically, I don't want to be too polarizing. The thing that I want to ask specifically is, what do you guys feel about Donald Trump's promise, execution, whatever you may call it, and what do you think these 3 things will do for the United States, our well-being, entrepreneurship overall? 1 is more jobs. The idea of creating more jobs in the economy, and the idea of people now with those jobs having money to then spend, and them having now spending power and utility in their life. What is the importance of a better infrastructure, right? More roads, bridges, networks, things that will, foundationally help our country over, the next 100 years or so. And what do you guys think about merit-based immigration? Obviously, that's a really hot trending topic, and I'm curious what you guys think. And I don't necessarily think I have a very strong standpoint myself, and I'm very curious to see your guys' insights. But one thing I do know, after visiting many other countries, one of them being Australia, is that the immigration policies and laws of the United States are different from those around the country when you get a visa, when you come into the States. For example, if we got a 6-month visa in Australia and we stayed there too long, we'd get arrested, we'd be jailed, and I think it's very interesting to think with the origin of the United States being an immigrant country and being a country that accepts individuals from all around the world, yet at what point does that not become practical, right? Because America starts as an immigrant country when there's no one really living here. Obviously, the Native Americans, but true immigration from Europe coming as people are fleeing and starting new colonies and founding an entire new country. 200 years later, a little bit more, at what point do you say, hey, now the United States may not be that immigrant country that was so lenient as it once was, just practically because now there's over 350 million people here in the United States. And does that mean that our immigration policies have to change? I don't know. But I could see some level of practicality there now having to see, or deal with that influx of people. Also, a very important topic that I'm curious what you guys think about is the idea that the United States sources some of the best minds in the world, right? And most of the third world developing countries, the United States is a very attractive place for these people, and immigrating here is a very attractive option due to the severe hardships that they're facing. For someone like myself that thinks about problem solving and solutions long term, I wonder what type of influence and impact do we have on these countries taking their best minds and taking their best people? And my question is it not better for some of these people to stay in their countries and be the pioneers and be the innovators who can really change? And is it our responsibility to support them, or is it our responsibility to be an immigration country with open arms? Again, guys, I don't have the answers to these things, but I want you guys to start calling in. We're going to put up a live call-in number for you guys. You should see it on the screen, where you guys will call into our team, and then you guys will be able to ask a question live or share your insights about what do you think with the Donald Trump's presidency: more jobs, more infrastructure, merit-based immigration, or what do you think our immigration policy should be as an immigration country? And is it our responsibility, or what do you guys think about the fact that we source the best minds, we source the problem solvers, we take the innovators? Everyone wants to come to the United States, which is great for us, but on a global scale, on a global economy, I just wonder if we're taking the best talent, who's left? Who's there to be in the trenches? Who's there to be on the ground to really make an impact? So, guys, I'm going to give you guys some time to call in now as we're getting in some more comments. And guys, if you're not going to call in, please feel free to write in the comments below, guys. I want to see who's here. Nicholas, thanks for tuning in, buddy. I appreciate you. And guys, again, where are you tuning in from? Are you excited? Who's on? And then, guys, I'm going to wait for a live call-in from you, because I want to know here, what do you guys think about Donald Trump so far, his immigration policies, and what's been going down here? So after we talk on a live call-in, we'll go next into Snapchat IPO and Messenger stories and dive deep into the whole startup scene. What do you guys think? How startups are iterating from startups to these obviously big giant companies, but just the idea, what's giving you a competitive edge? How do you reverse engineer and whatnot? Hey, Rachel, what's going on? I appreciate you tuning in here. Cool. We got a call coming in. Hello?
Hello? Hi, Rob.
Hey, what's going on? How are you?
Hi, very good, thank you. I'm Cristina. I'm from Brazil, and I live here in Newark, actually.
Oh, really?
And yeah, I think that it's a very nice topic about Donald Trump, because I am an immigrant here, and I have lots of friends who doesn't have papers. And a lot of people are scared And I think that actually it's a technique that he has to scare people to be afraid of him. So first, he said that he was going to deport everybody. And now he's talking about possibly a reform. So I don't know. Sometimes I think that he's playing being a president. I don't understand. So nobody knows what to expect from him. So it's very difficult. This situation, it's very difficult for the immigrants right now. We are very scared.
And what do you think he's using those tactics for? As you know, as an immigrant, how are you feeling right now?
I'm sorry, the call is broken up.
Okay, no problem.
Can you say again?
Yeah. So you were saying that Donald Trump, was using some of these scare tactics, saying that he would deport the immigrants. So as an immigrant and somebody who's very connected with that community, what is it that you're feeling right now? And what is it that you'd like to see?
Well, I feel like not safe. I mean, the people here, they are not safe. They are scared to go to the streets. And every time we heard something like ICE is going on the train, people asking for your document, and if you don't have, you can be deported. So people, the immigrants, the Brazilians and Portuguese who doesn't have papers, they are very scared. And I do agree, of course, I do agree with him saying that he doesn't want the criminals in here. I mean, nobody wants criminals in here. But he's not going after the criminals. He's going after everybody.
I definitely can see that, Christina, and I'm really appreciative for you, sharing your insight and sharing your opinion. And again, these are tough, sensitive issues that I'm not too sure if anyone has the answer for. And again, guys, if you're tuning in live, Philip, nice to see you. Mike, nice to see you. Dave, nice to see you. At some point, I do know that, right now it may seem scary, and there may be some illegal immigrants who are worried and frightened, and I just wonder, objectively, is this a necessary evil? Is this the process that we need to go through as the United States as a country redevelops, refines its immigration policies that have been screwed up for, decades now? And is it just an unfortunate opportunity of what's going on now that looking out, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20 years, long after Donald Trump is out of the presidency, is this immigration reform important? And what is its impact on what will come 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years, even after you and me, both pass away? Because I agree for you, as someone that's liberal myself in many views and opinions, it's hard, to be in that position where you're frightened, so.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Robbie. I bet you are very busy with other calls, but thank you for receiving my call. It was a great big part of your show, and congratulations.
Thank you, Christina. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. And guys, if you're tuning in, please share on your newsfeed so we can get this out to as many people as possible. Like I said, guys, this is going to be super connected and integrated between us at LMB TV and you guys, the viewers. And your guys' engagement is so important to us. It's really how we're going to grow the show, and it's the foundation of everything we do. So I believe that we have more calls coming in. So who's on the phone? Hello?
Hi, this is Rachel.
Hey, Rachel, what's going on?
Oh, I'm just driving, so if I lose you, that's probably why.
Well, I appreciate you calling in, Rachel. Thanks so much.
Oh, yes, definitely. So you were asking about, the policies of Donald Trump and what we think about it. I honestly think that whether or not you believe that he's a good president or you don't think he's a good president, he does what he says that he's going to do.
That's a good
point.
point.
What I've seen so far. And so basically, there's people out there who say, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and they don't ever get anything done.
Yeah.
I think he is the kind of person that gets things done. So,
That's a great point.
I mean, that's something good that we can say about him.
And Rachel,
Whether
as
or not we agree with the policy.
I agree. And what do you think is super important about him executing on the things he gets done? Do you think there's any, relation to him being a businessman, and then transitioning that over into politics? Do you think that's kind of how he's been running his political agenda, is very business oriented, executing on those things? Do you think that's like a big difference between him and, some other presidents?
I think you're 100% right. I think he knows how to run a business. Yeah, he's had some failures in business, but honestly, who hasn't? So I think he runs it very much like a business. And
Right.
I would honestly rather have somebody who knows what they're doing when it comes to business than somebody who has no experience whatsoever
I
and
agree.
can't get anything done.
I do agree. And
So
do
that's
you
something-
own a business
something
yourself,
we can
Rachel?
say. Yes, I do. I own a few businesses, so I love the business. I love the entrepreneurship. So that's something that's really close to my heart.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I think that's maybe why you see a lot of similarities, being a business owner yourself, and then, really kind of relating to some of the things Donald Trump's doing. I think that does come down to what I was saying prior to Christina is it that unnecessary evil, right? A new CEO comes into a big company, and that CEO, who's the visionary, who's the person in charge, sees a new vision and says, hey, our bottom line isn't where it needs to be. We need to make some fires. We need to cut some people. Hey, I think we really need to make a big pivot here. And that's not always going to be in favor of everyone. However, is it necessary to get us, to that end goal? Cool.
I'm hoping that he does a good job. I mean, it's all up to the person's perspective. It's also like you can't please everybody. So he can, please us. You just can't. If you try to please everybody, you wind up pleasing nobody. So, I mean, I think he's doing a good job. Do I like what he's, do I like his tactics? No, I don't. I don't like the way I'm very into authenticity and, treating people with kindness and respect. I don't think he does that. But, everybody's different. I think ultimately, though, he's somebody that we can look up to in the area of getting things done and in the area of doing what you say you're going to do. So, I mean, that's something positive that we can say about him.
I appreciate you, Rachel. I think you really hit the nail on the head with that one. Thank you so much. Thank you for calling in, Rachel. Again, please always call in. That was really insightful. Thank you for calling in from the car. And we got the next call up here.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Rachel.
So guys, before we go on to our next live in call and really go on to the later half of our episode, we're going to take a quick break for some of our commercial sponsors.
Fair or practical to be extorted by billion-dollar sunglass companies. We know what it feels like to lose sunglasses. We are people too. It happens. The real problem is that the billion-dollar sunglass companies know you're going to lose your sunglasses. In fact, they're banking on it. We're going to do things differently at Ellison and turn the industry upside down with your help. And because we know that people lose sunglasses so often, we're going to replace them for you at exclusive membership pricing. We want to change this world and look good while doing it. I started this company with a goal to build it into a community of people who value the importance of getting lost in order to get found.
How do you know when you've left Normal behind?
When you're spreading love, spreading self-awareness, spreading knowledge, and making those around you.
How's it feel internally? How do you know when you left Normal behind internally?
You feel liberated.
Yeah, you do.
You feel liberated.
Today I want to talk about something that Glenn Clark says in a book called The Man Who Tapped the Secrets of the Universe. What he says is that each man and woman has a consummate inner genius within them. However, it's either your awareness or unawareness of this infinite power inside of you that determines your output. The mediocre man's life ends at 40, where the genius's life starts at 40, because only a genius can continue to grow as they get older. Because if you're not growing, then you're dying. what I wanted to touch on are 3 key things that you need to move you forward in life right now. Number 1 is you need the knowledge of this inner genius. 2, the courage to dare. And 3, the faith to do. If you guys can combine those 3 things, then you can move forward with reckless abandonment towards the things that make you happy, satisfied, and fulfilled without the worry of what other people are going to say about you or without anything holding you back, guys. So remember those 3 things. The knowledge of your inner genius. 2nd, the courage to dare. And 3rd, the faith to do. See you guys in the next video.
Hey guys, and we're back here for LNB TV to hit our later segment of the show. I appreciate you guys that have called in so far. I'm excited the way that our first episode of LNB TV has been going. Your guys' insight and feedback is so appreciated, and it's something that we really care about. And each week, guys, the whole crux of everything we want to do is how can the information that we're sharing be in service of you guys? How can what we share here today shift the conversation that you have tonight with your friends, with your family? How can it shift the conversation that you have tomorrow at lunch? How can it shift the conversations that you're having through social media? Because if we can do that, that's how we make an impact. Are we getting another call in here, or? Hold on 1 second.
Call from Heather DeSantis.
Hey Heather, what's going on?
Hi, how are you?
I appreciate you calling in. How's your day been going?
Oh my gosh, I love Mondays.
Oh yeah?
Don't you?
I love Mondays. Monday's
Yeah.
a great day to be great. Every day is a great day to be great.
And you have your new show, which is amazing. You have so many people watching you tonight,
How are you liking it?
so it's big. I love it. Love it.
Yeah? Were you able to tune
Yeah.
in for any of the stuff we talked about earlier? Donald Trump, Snapchat IPO, what's on your mind?
My gosh, no, I literally just tuned in and saw you with that amazing backdrop. You are such a change agent. You have no idea.
I appreciate you calling in, Heather. The compliment is so super appreciated. I'm feeling really good about that.
Oh, good.
Thank you. What is something, that you think is super important? Or before you hop off, I'd love for you to share, what is leaving normal behind mean to you?
My gosh, absolutely. Well, I think everyone who is tuning in tonight is of a different caliber. They are people who, like you, feel like they need to leave normal behind, and they are pure people who want to really make a difference. And I think that authenticity is hard to find by, these days. You were talking about Donald Trump earlier, you said, and the news is so polarized that really we are really seeking for truth. The USA Today, did you know that they're doing a huge survey right now, and they're actually paying an institute to survey readers about what they think of their paper, and are you really trusting the news? Because people are really tired of news being so polarized and, crazy.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, Heather. And just tell some people on the call, what do you do? What's your background? And kind of what takes up your time.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have a huge passion for working with people to be nationally known for their passion and how they want to help people in their niche. I get people on TV and I make them nationally known. And
Oh, wow.
my background actually was working for a top advertising agency, working with major NFL players, being their handler, going to
awesome.
the Super Bowl, and really, making them, talk to every radio station for people who are really into sports. About 2 years ago, there was a huge Geico commercial, a huge cold cuts commercial with football player named Ickey Woods, who was known for the Ickey Shuffle, and I was his handler. And,
Oh, really?
It's funny. So I worked hand in hand with Ickey Woods and Mike Ditka. Fun fact, I smoked
cool.
a cigar with Mike Ditka that no one would know. But I left my ad agency in 2015 because I was given an ultimatum. I had a side passion, network marketing at that time, and I was full in for the ad agency, and they said you either can have your passion project on the side or work for us full time. And I literally left that day and did not get my 2 weeks notice. So
Let's
I,
go.
like many of you are, you know, we're leaving normal behind.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
We have something so inside. We have something so deep inside of us that if we don't do something big, like, we're gonna die. Like, I've seen the people following you, like, they're all innovative people, they're all progressive, they're all people who want to help a lot of people, they want to reach millions and make a lot of money along the way. I mean, it's innovative, it's crazy cool.
I appreciate you so much, Heather, for tuning in and calling in. It seems like you're really leaving normal behind and making a difference. I definitely know there's some people in our Leave Normal Behind community that could use your PR services to help share their message and spread their dream. So thank you, Heather, for tuning in and calling in. It's really appreciated.
Absolutely. Thank you. And everyone who's watching, keep tuning in and following Rob, because I'm telling you, he is really running and doing things that I haven't even have thought of doing. So, you know, each day we have to become better, and, you know, Rob is really showing that. So thank you.
Thank you, Heather. I appreciate you. Leave normal behind.
See ya.
Thank you.
So guys, here we're going to go into the next segment, which is Snapchat IPO versus Facebook Messenger stories. Again, I want you guys to have the ability to call in, start formulating your answers. We may take some questions, you know, if you missed a Donald Trump segment or asking questions about LNB TV. But for the next segment, we do want to keep it more on the techie side, you know, for the next, you know, couple minutes. And I want to go over the Snapchat IPO. What went down? How important is it? What do you guys think? But prior to going in, again, I want to do another call out. Who's on our Facebook Live? Hold on, we got another call coming in. But guys, comment below, please. Who's on the Facebook Live? 1, 2 if you're excited. And we got another call. Hello?
Hi, Rob. It's Lex.
Hey, Lex, what's going on? How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you liking the show so far?
I love it so much. Someone else commented that they've never seen a Facebook Live like this before, and I completely agree. I think the quality is very, very well done. I think the content that you're delivering and these topics, they're such a wide variety, and I think you have the opportunity to reach a lot of people, and it's things that people want to talk about and things that are trending, like you said. So from content to the quality and how you're delivering it, I think you hit a home run so far.
Thank you, Lex, and they'll only get better, and I'm appreciative of you. You know, you're such an amazing person. You know, what's on your mind? You know, what are you thinking about what we've chatted about so far, or leave normal behind overall?
Yeah, so I kind of wanted to jump to the Snapchat
Yeah,
topic
tell me, please.
So as like a small brand that I'm, you know, trying to build and grow and everything, I am honestly confused about where to post. And I know that's like, it's kind of like stupid in a way, but at the same time, it's like, okay, well, I can post a story on Snapchat, I can post a story on Instagram, I can post a story on Facebook, but are people watching on Facebook? Like me personally, I have not watched like 2 stories on Facebook because that's not what I want to do when I'm on Facebook. But
good point.
Instagram or Snapchat, you're reaching a lot more people. Well, I am personally on Instagram, so I decided that's where I'm going to put my time and energy because as much as millennials get like, you know, I guess the bad rep for being on the phone all the time, I'm trying to reduce that just for myself and my own sanity. So, like, where can I put my focus? Is it better for my brand to grow on Snapchat, or is it better for my brand to grow on Instagram?
That's a great point. And I definitely have seen, I've definitely seen the numerical spread kind of be similar. And just real quick, guys that are calling in now, if you get placed on hold, please continue to call in and you'll get through. We want to give everyone that calls in their opportunity to share. But Lex, I definitely have seen a similarity between, you know, my platforms, Snapchat, Instagram, and Facebook. And I've thought, you know, after seeing Facebook Messenger, I do see a decreased engagement. I think it's because people aren't assuming to go to Facebook to see stories. Personally, though, I do like Instagram stories over Snapchat stories. The reason being,
Yeah.
and I really do think as we go into this IPO, one of my biggest things that I believe is the most volatile aspect of Snapchat that I think they really have to fix super quick is their discoverability, right? And that's the biggest reason why Instagram is so easily outdoing Snapchat right now, why so many people are jumping ship, is because really developing a Snapchat audience, you know, for somebody that's growing their brand is pretty manual. You know, you have to meet people, you have to ask for their Snapchat. It's really one-to-one. You know,
Definitely.
if you are an influencer, then you have some type of other platform where you're driving traffic to your Snapchat. You know, but the only way Snapchat grows is if you have some type of other asset that's allowing you to move traffic to your Snapchat, and you're either getting personal requests, you know, ghost codes was something that people were getting some traffic from a little bit earlier. It's still around. But I do believe that moving to Instagram stories and making a place there, I do think that's the smartest move. I think the discoverability on Instagram is far beyond even Facebook right now. I think it's super clean, simple, sleek. I think the whole app is about discoverability. So I, you know, from one entrepreneur to another, I definitely think leveraging Instagram stories will be more impactful. And I'm curious, you know, if Facebook just kind of, I'm really curious if Facebook Messenger stories did this kind of just to add a new feature, you know, as they just throw another swing at Snapchat. And to be honest, you know, if I was the founder, Evan Spiegel of Snapchat, I would have went public just like him, you know, because there is a volatility in the market, and going public does increase. You know, I think it's valued at $32 billion right now. You know, so if you have Facebook, you know, on your ass starting to add all these features, are you going to run to the money and go IPO and maybe, you know, put your shareholders not in the best position? Because as a visionary or founder, who knows? You know, maybe he sees this competition with Facebook as an opportunity, you know, or maybe he sees, maybe he's a little frightened, you know. But I really appreciate you calling in, Lex, and thank you so much for sharing your insight. I really appreciate you.
Of course.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you so much for hosting the show. I'm really excited for what's to come.
Yeah, Lex, I'm excited for you to tune in. I hope I hear you calling often.
Awesome. You definitely will.
Take it easy. So guys, who's tuned in here? Chris, what's going on? Yancey, Brandon, what's up, guys? We got another call coming in. Oh, the call dropped? Okay, all good. Guys, the call dropped, so if you just tried to call in, keep calling in. Like I said, sometimes 2 or 3 people are calling in at the same time, so they get kind of negated. But awesome. So back to the Snapchat IPO. Guys, you kind of heard, you know, some of my insights on it. I do think maybe it was a little bit, I don't want to say premature because it's been building for a long time, but is it very smart and tactical? Absolutely. You know, if you want to look at the trend, you know, of Facebook IPO and Snapchat IPO, Facebook opened a lot at a lower price, right? And for whatever reason, and I don't know why, because I'm a huge fan of Facebook. If you're going to bet on anyone, I don't know how you don't bet on Mark Zuckerberg. You know, in the same way you're going to bet on Elon Musk or Richard Branson. You know, I think if you look at some of the, you know, the media tycoons, you know, I think Zuckerberg is leading that. You know, so I don't know, you know, how anyone would really doubt his growth or doubt that they're going to innovate and continue to kind of do the best thing. They have over 1 billion users. You know, I don't think that's something that fizzles out. So I feel like if you're someone that's saying Facebook's not going to be around, I do think that's foolish. I think Facebook is so integrated in the way that we use our economy and our social media. You know, I think over 80% of people go on Facebook at least 30 minutes a day, which is insane. You know, and in the same way, if you're unfamiliar, China has an app called WeChat. I think Facebook will eventually is trying to move in that direction, and WeChat is an all-in-one app where Chinese people are, you know, buying real estate, getting their prescriptions, buying their groceries, getting an Uber, texting their friends, going through their social media. It's like a one-stop shop that everyone in the world is trying to copy, because what China has done and what no other real country has done or any other platform has done is get their everyday users to spend all their money within one platform. Everything, guys. Like, you can buy a house through WeChat. You know, it's just a place. You know, getting your users to live and engage within an app in a community and then take their dollars that they're working hard for and use that medium to send payments is really the end goal of every social media app when it comes to utility. So, you know, Facebook opened a lot lower. If you look over time, Facebook has risen because of their ability to continue to get users, the way that they've leveraged Facebook Live, the way that their ads have gotten super targeted, their AI and technology that they've put behind. It's making this app very profitable. Snapchat, for example, actually started a bit higher, which I thought was very interesting. For some of you stockbrokers or traders, I'm curious to hear your opinion on this, because I think Snapchat was a lot of hype, you know, when it first started. And then taking that hype, you know, and then I feel like they kind of use this hype with some smart stockbrokers. I think that's an easy short, you know, and for people that don't know much about stocks, a short is where you bet that the stock is going to go down, you know, so you basically bet that the stock is going to lose. So I think any smart investor or trader knew that it was going to be overhyped in its IPO and then diminish and drop over the next couple days. And I'm curious, guys, because it really does come down to the people behind the business. And guys, when you're buying into people, that's what's most important, is the people behind the business. And the people behind the business are the ones that are going to create that vision. You know, so you're really asking yourself, Mark Zuckerberg, Evan Spiegel, and the teams behind them. You know, because like I said, Snapchat now has to innovate. You know, and I think discoverability is their answer. Right? You heard Lex when she hopped on. Everyone wants more views. Everyone wants more engagement. It's a natural thing. It's a cognitive bias for us to want to feel appreciated and to have that attention, you know, so that when people saw, hey, my Snapchat is pretty private. Oh, I have Instagram stories. I have a couple thousand followers. You know, now I'm getting hundreds more views on my stories than I was on Snapchat. You know, it's a really easy decision. Hey, you know, am I going to stay on Snapchat or am I going to move over to Instagram? So who do we got in here? Cheyenne. B. Greggs, what's going on? Haroon, thank you. Yeah, I do agree. Snapchat is way, way, way overhyped here. Hey, we got another call coming in. Hey, what's going on?
What's going on?
Hey, who do we got on the call today?
This is Cal Rich.
Hey, Cal Rich, what's going on, bro?
How's it going, brother? Good to hear your voice.
You too, man. What are you up to?
Not much, dude. Just wrapped up a meeting. Pretty stoked about the future things to come.
Yeah, man. What have you been up to here?
Well, I've been up to so many different things, but ultimately right now I'm building a clothing line.
Sweet, sweet. How are you liking LNB TV so far?
So amazing. Honestly, I was saying this about an hour ago. Like, you know, for me, from the time that Rob you started posting on Facebook up until now, you know, just hyping up the moment and how awesome it's going to be, dude. It's so amazing to see it come to fruition. I've been waiting, you know, looking forward to it all week.
Dude, that's amazing to hear, Cal Rich. What are some insights? You know, have you been tuning in? Did you hear about Snapchat or Donald Trump or, you know, kind of what's on your mind?
No, man. Actually, I was in a meeting. Like I said, I just wrapped up. But yeah, dude, I'm looking forward to rewatching the whole episode. You know, I'm excited to see how these form into episodes.
Yeah,
you know,
hell
from this
yeah.
point forward, this is such a big moment.
Thank you, Cal. Cal, before you hop off here, what does leave normal behind mean to you?
Leave normal behind to me is freedom in being what you want to be.
That's awesome.
And excelling while doing it in a positive way.
Dude, that's great, Cal Rich. I think you're destined for greatness. That's an awesome answer.
Really appreciate that, Rob.
I appreciate you calling in, Cal.
Hey, of course, dude. I'm so happy.
Dude, I'm excited to hear you call in more and to watch the further episodes.
Of course, my man.
Thank you, sir.
Alrighty, brother.
Awesome. So, guys, thanks for tuning in and thanks for calling in. It really makes the show such a better experience, you know, when we're able to have people call in, share their insights, give appreciation. You know, that's super, super dope. So I want to move over. I want to move over here now. We got about 15 minutes left on our live stream here. I want to move over out of Snapchat IPO, and Messenger stories, and to ask a critical question to you guys. And I'm curious. Again, I don't know the answer. This is something that I need you guys to call in about. I don't know if anyone will have the answer. You know, so I want to know what you guys think about our responsibility as humans, individuals, and our responsibility as a country for international aid versus domestic aid. And I'll give an example. So I was watching a video today on a girl who escaped North Korea. And for those of you that don't know the circumstances in North Korea, it's an indescribable place in the world right now, where it is run by a dictatorship that's been around for decades and decades. And it's that dictatorship to the nth degree, right? They don't have any outside media. There's no internet. There's no streaming movies. The entire point of the structure of the government there is to brainwash its citizens into believing and loving and trusting in the regime, that is the Kim regime, and how there are people there in deplorable conditions. And the video I was watching was about this girl talking about having to witness the public execution of one of her friend's mother for simply watching a Hollywood film. And the fact that you could get publicly executed for even expressing a slight doubt or disconnection for the regime. And just imagining, not being able to have that freedom of speech. I asked the question, even what's going on with Syria and its refugees, what is our responsibility to help those internationally and abroad that are in some deplorable conditions versus what is our responsibility to help people become the best version of themselves and create things that matter right here on our soil? Because there's people who are homeless here. There's people who are dying here. There's people who are hungry here. There's people who are sick here. There's people who are facing tragedy here. So I'm curious, and again, I don't know the answer, but what is our responsibility to go out and help those abroad versus staying here, staying where we're from? There's people in your own town that you can help right now with a food drive, a clothing drive, mentorship. Do we always need to flee our country and go to the third world countries of the world and go to Africa and go to the Middle East and go to Asia? Again, I don't know, but that's something that I need you guys to call in and chat about, because I think that's something that's very, very important, because I think that's something that people don't discuss. I really think that people, you have two dichotomies here. You have the population that is super liberal, and is saying, hey, we need to go help the world. And for somebody that's, super into human rights, I totally agree. I do think there is, some level of concern that we need to show as our place as, what are the dominant countries of the world, with access and resources where we can really help. But again, I guess my question is, if we help ourselves become better, will that then create more positive change so that we can then help others? Can you help others before you help yourself? And not in a greedy way, but in more of a utility way. If you're not helping yourself become better, then do you even have the resources, skills, talents, abilities to then go help others and extend yourself if you haven't even taken care of the problems and things at home? So, guys, I want you to call in again. I want to also take a poll and say who stayed on with us for over an hour. I'm appreciative of you guys. Where are you guys tuning in from? Ed, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you. Carla, Cheyenne again. Heather, awesome, guys. Myra, nice to see you. Who else do we got here? Dave, nice to see you. All right, guys, great. And again, guys, if you're watching, please feel free to share this on your newsfeed. If it's content that you think deserves to be shared, if this is a show that you support and something that you want to see grow, your engagement is the crux. It's what really helps us, and it's what fuels this episode. Each week, guys, we want to create momentum. We want to create that snowball effect, and we want to iterate. We want to hear, how can this be better? How can we provide a better service to you? How can we share better knowledge and better information on each show? And what are some topics that are really going to make a difference? Hi, Jillian, what's going on? I appreciate you tuning in here. Anna, how are you? I had a voluntary job once. The sensation to help is great. That's definitely true. And guys, just another thing too to add on to this call-in opportunity is I want to discuss what is the media's responsibility to share authentic news, true stories, despite the market demand for sensationalism, right? And if you guys know like sensationalism, it's basically embellishing stories to a bit that makes them more entertaining and compelling, but it doesn't actually mean that they're the most truthful, right? So that's why you see a lot on the news how it's about murder, bombs, disease, war, sensational topics. Today I was listening to a talk show. It was Cheddar TV for those who know some other Facebook live streams, and they were talking about Kim Kardashian, and it was so superficial it disgusted me because it was so pointless. They were talking about, how is Kim Kardashian's style changing and how is she moving away from taking nudes and selfies and how she's transitioning into a mother with 2 kids and changing her style. And I thought that was the most ridiculous thing to hear because they don't ask you to critically think. And guys, if you are consuming knowledge on the daily that is not asking you to critically think, then you are watching or listening to garbage. It's junk food for your brain. If you're going to talk about Kim Kardashian, then ask me a question that makes me critically think. If you're going to talk to her about how she's transitioning, don't just say, oh, she's wearing nice clothes. Ask me, how can you develop your personal brand when you face challenges in real life? I want you to tie in mainstream media. I want you to tie in this junk food with something that's going to make me critically think. And that's hard for media, and that's why I know LNB TV is filling a void that the market is demanding. It's hard to deliver authentic and real news in a compelling way, despite the market's need or want for bullshit. You see people that all they do is watch viral videos. You see people that just tune in to GIFs and pictures and comments that don't move the needle forward, and relaxation is totally fine. But when it comes to what you're feeding yourself, when it comes to what you're feeding your mind, if you are not paying attention, as Jim Rome says, stand guard at the door of your mind. If you're not standing guard at the door of your mind, then anything will be let in, and then that's where you start to run into some problems. So it seems like Eric has a question here. I want to give you the ability to type in your question because you cannot call in from London. But guys, yeah, please feel free to call in. More questions, more comments, more shares. If you guys are still tuning in and engaged, let me see some likes, some thumbs up, some hearts. Yeah, guys, so what is the media's responsibility to share authentic news, despite sensationalism? And lastly, before the show ends, to go over real quickly how the SEC denied Bitcoin. And for those of you that don't know what Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency, which basically is a currency that's different from the dollar. It's like an electronic digital currency that is protected through a blockchain technology, which basically means that each new Bitcoin is connected with a series of Bitcoins prior, so it's very hard to create fraud there. So the SEC denied Bitcoin's application from the Winklevoss brothers, the ones who are in competition with Mark Zuckerberg, for the ETF to regulate the trade of Bitcoin. So essentially what that means is that to buy a cryptocurrency, you actually need to have a wallet. So you have a wallet, and then the cryptocurrency goes in that wallet. What got denied by the SEC is investors' ability to buy Bitcoin stock without having a wallet. So basically, the wallet allows you to use your Bitcoin and spend it, but the investment stock would allow these investors and stockbrokers to trade at market rates and still make money, yet not actually use their Bitcoin. So in terms of the Bitcoin economy, it would have really exploded the Bitcoin economy and made a really huge impact that unfortunately, and I'm sure it will get passed down the line I do see a need for a cryptocurrency. Bitcoin stock is blowing through the roof over $1,000 right now. And it's interesting to think, as we move into the technology age, is, are we going to need the dollar? Or are we going to move into cryptocurrency? So guys, here I'm getting the nod that we're running out of time. I want to give you guys the last 5 minutes to call in, to comment, to ask a question before we hop off. I'm so appreciative for those that have tuned in for the whole first episode of LNB TV. Guys, this is exciting. I know it's going to grow. I cannot wait to bring on incredible people where we sit next to them and ask them, how are you leaving normal behind? How are you becoming the best version of yourself? What are you creating that matters? What's important to you? And I'm excited every week to give an hour-long show where we dive in deep on the trending topics of today that are going to affect your tomorrow. So I'm going to let you guys call in, and then we're going to wrap it up here, guys. I'm super excited for all of you guys that tuned in. If you have any comments, suggestions, please write them in the timeline below. Message me on Facebook personally, Rob Fajardo. We want to hear your feedback. Your feedback is the most important because your feedback is what is going to allow this show to be better. And if you guys want to see this be better, guys, I want this to be something that you guys tune into Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern. You're tuning into LNB TV. You're engaged. You're calling in. We're shifting conversation. We're making an impact. We're being influential. And we're becoming the best version of ourselves by creating things that matter. And that is not a one-man job. That comes from us. That comes from this relationship and our community. Because if we can use that lens of positivity, of change, of transition, of transformation, then that is our obligation as a generation, as a society, to spread more love, spread more hope, and more happiness within the medium of what we've been granted with technology. And that will grow, guys. And I'm excited for LNB TV and virtual reality, and I know it will get there. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Let me hear it. I got one here. Ed Stulak, media controls this world and it has its pros and cons. But what is your perspective and prediction on media within the next 5 years? So thanks, Ed, for asking that question. I'll just give my opinion before we wrap up today on LNB TV. Again, guys, I'm super excited for the show, but my prediction, guys, in the next 5 years, and something that I hope to be on the forefront of, is news. I'm calling this right now, and I know we'll have this recording to show, but news, media, and where the direction of our market is going is all about attention. Attention is the new currency. If you are not online, if you're not having an online presence, then it is worthless, and it's almost like non-existent in a world that is becoming so connected, a physical world with this technological world of social media. There is an integration that is happening as both are being interwoven within the fabric of our lives. It is very hard now to be totally off the grid and not have technology or social media woven into some aspect of your life. And for me, I've been in the tech and startup space. I know some of these things. So to answer Ed's question, over the next 5 years, targeting is going to become so much more comprehensive than it already is. For those of you that don't know, there's apps that play in your background. There's apps that are taking data and information all day long, right? And if you think about your phone is basically like your personal diary. You wake up around the same time every day. You text people around the same time every day. You go to work the same time every day. You're driving around the same time every day. You have lunch the same time every day. You're usually checking your social media around the same time every day. You go home around the same time every day. You're eating dinner around the same time every day. What your phone is taking is all the micro engagements that you click on your phone, that's being recorded, where there's technologies and softwares that can actually see, in a place that kind of seems like Big Brother, they can actually determine your routine. So what they do is they use this information to target ads so that the ads don't play when you're driving to work. The ads play during your lunch. The ads don't play when you're driving home. They play when you sat down to watch TV for dinner. So over the next 5 years, I see the media and news becoming extremely comprehensive with deep learning and machine learning and algorithms truly understanding what it is we want to watch, why we want to watch it, and giving it to us before we even ask. In the next 5 years, I see people being super engaged in virtual and augmented reality where they're consuming their news right in front of them. So for example, instead of you guys watching me through a Facebook Live, you may be watching me through a Facebook hologram, and it may seem like I'm in the room. So guys, that's really where I see the media and news going and using that attention in a positive way. So we have another call, you said?
Yes.
Okay, cool. We got one more call, actually.
Hello, is this me now?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, Rob? It's Raquel.
Hey.
Honestly, congrats, killing it. I just hopped on. I was on in the beginning a little bit. Had to do homework, but hopping back on. crushing it. I absolutely love it. Love what you're doing. Love the topics, the preview topics that I couldn't really get indulged, but it's been epic.
Sweet. I appreciate you calling in, Raquel. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
Before you hop off here and before we wrap it up for tonight, what does leave normal behind mean to you?
Leave normal behind to me means defining who you are against social norms and societal norms, and truly indulging what your true passions are and what enlightens you as a human being, however that may be. And leave normal behind, that's however anyone can interpret it, whatever that feels to you. So I think that's just defining who you are and uplifting yourself from that.
I really appreciate that insight, Raquel. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for calling in. That's super awesome. And your support is super appreciative. And I hope I hear you call in for our next LNB episodes. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, thanks for doing it.
No problem. So guys, here, the team in the back, we don't have any more calls queued up. It's okay to end the live. Cool. So guys, thank you again for tuning in to LNB TV. What you can expect is weekly shows where we talk about trending news, government, politics, business, technology, innovation, social impact, and more, where people can come together, Generation Z, Millennials, Gen X, and Baby Boomers, to discuss topics that matter, have people call in, share their insights and opinions to make a difference and shift conversation. If you're somebody that is intrigued with Leave Normal Behind, go to leavenormalbehind.com, and we have a membership that we will be launching. Right now you can't sign up, but this membership will allow you to join LNB events, where you can come to LNB only events, whether it's concerts, galas, fashion shows, fine art, museums, a lot of cool things, with a 52-week newsletter where we're really going to share some awesome insights. So guys, you're going to get some more knowledge, you're going to meet some more awesome people, and get to do some really cool Leave Normal Behind experiences that are over the top. So guys, I'm excited for next week's show. Please, in the comments, share your insights, opinions on how this could be better, how can we improve. Episode 1, I'm excited for episode 100, guys. Leave normal behind, become the best version of yourself, create things that matter. I'll see you guys in the next show. Peace.
Today I want to talk about something that Glenn Clark says in a book called The Man Who Tapped the Secrets of the Universe. What he says is that each man and woman has a consummate inner genius within them. However, it's either your awareness or unawareness of this infinite power inside of you that determines your output. The mediocre man's life ends at 40, where the genius's life starts at 40, because only a genius can continue to grow as they get older. Because if you're not growing, then you're dying. And what I wanted to touch on are 3 key things that you need to move you forward in life right now. Number 1 is you need the knowledge of this inner genius. 2, the courage to dare. And 3, the faith to do. If you guys can combine those 3 things, then you can move forward with reckless abandonment towards the things that make you happy, satisfied, and fulfilled, without the worry of what other people are going to say about you, or without anything holding you back, guys. So remember those 3 things: the knowledge of your inner genius, 2nd, the courage to dare, and 3rd, the faith to do. See you guys in the next video. How do you know when you've left normal behind?
When you're spreading love, spreading self-awareness, spreading knowledge, and making those around you.
How's it feel internally? How do you know when you left normal behind internally?
You feel liberated.
Yeah, you do.
You feel liberated.
It's not fair or practical to be extorted by billion-dollar sunglass companies. We know what it feels like to lose sunglasses. We are people too. It happens. The real problem is that the billion-dollar sunglass companies know you're going to lose your sunglasses. In fact, they're banking on it. We're going to do things differently at Ellison and turn the industry upside down with your help. And because we know that people lose sunglasses so often, we're going to replace them for you at exclusive membership pricing. We want to change this world and look good while doing it. I started this company with a goal to build it into a community of people who value the importance of getting lost in order to get found.